Hey YouTube, back again. I wanted to talk to you guys about a product called Seafoam. This is the second time I've used the product. I figured it would be time for me to do a little bit of a review on it based on past and prior experiences with it. The past experience, I used it in my 1991 Nissan Pathfinder. It's got a VG30 V6 in it. It's multi-port fuel injection, and it's got about at the time when I used it, I had about 215,000 miles on it. It now has 235. So this car right here is a 2000 Saab 9.5 wagon. It's got, I don't even know how many miles. Just guess ballpark 150,000. Might be closer to 160, I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Turbocharged multi-port fuel injection, 2.3 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Awesome car, love it. If you don't know much about Saabs, get to know them. You'll definitely like the cars. Okay, it's my first one. I'm a big fan. I like Swedish vehicles in general. I like old Volvos and stuff like that too. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Let me show you what the can of Seafoam looks like for those that have never seen it. Here we go. Let's get some good light going on here. So, did you guys read this stuff? If you want to hit pause and read it. The links will be down below for you to check out this product. They got a Facebook page. Check out their Facebook page. You could use it for so many different things, okay? This is what some people might tag as kind of a mechanic in a can. This is not a mechanic in a can product, okay? This isn't one of those old school infomercial products where they're like, pour this in your engine and it'll turn this engine that's falling apart into a prime running masterpiece of mechanical engineering or something stupid like that. Okay, what that is it's a cleaner. Okay, that's all that is a cleaner. There's 3 ways you can install it into your car and use it. They kind of do different things depending on the way you install it. First way is to put it into your fuel tank. Second way is to put it into your oil, right inside, where you pour your oil in. And third way is to introduce it into your intake system. Let's say if you had a carbureted car, you would pour it down into the carb, which really makes no sense. Just put it in your fuel system and it'll get into your carb and into your intake that way. But in a fuel injected vehicle, you would have to introduce it more than likely through a vacuum line. On this car, I don't know where to introduce it at because I haven't really looked, and I don't really care because I'm not going to do that. But on my Pathfinder, that's the way I did it. I actually use that. I put it in that way. I actually put it in the fuel, and I put it into the oil. I just did it at different points. Let me show you on this Pathfinder here that's torn apart what I did. You have this vacuum line right here that goes into the intake boot. Basically what I did is I poured it into that vacuum line, which is really hard because it's small. The other option is on this would be to remove your vacuum off of your brake booster and pour it into that and let it suck it into the engine. Engine's going to run terrible. You're probably going to have to be on the gas and need somebody to help you with that. But that's how you get it in there. I don't like using this product like that. Okay, this product, all you got to do is do a search on YouTube for Seafoam. If you do that, you're going to see ridiculously big smoke shows that people are putting on by putting that into their intake like that. What it's doing is your engine is already warm and it's burning the shit up. Okay, it's burning it. It's causing all that smoke to come out your exhaust. And it's not going to hurt your engine, but it's going to smoke out your neighborhood. Your neighbors aren't going to be too happy about it. And it's a little embarrassing because it makes your vehicle look like it's a piece of shit, okay? Let's say, for instance, if you were trying to do that on a vehicle you're selling, or you plan on selling pretty soon, and everybody in your neighborhood sees that mess, and you go park it out front and put a for sale sign on it, nobody's going to talk to you about it. They're going to be like, hell no, did you see that thing billowing smoke all over the place? So the other reason I don't like that is because you pour it into there, and essentially what more is it doing outside of, if you put it in your oil, it's cleaning out all your oil passages or anywhere that oil would go to. You put it in your fuel tank, it's going anywhere your fuel would go to. There's not much of the engine that's left beyond those 2 points, and what you're dealing with is the throttle body area, and you're dealing with the intake between the throttle body and where your fuel injectors would be. If you have a lot of garbage built up in there, you have other problems, okay? So that's just the way I feel about it. You got other problems, and it needs to be addressed, and that can of seafoam isn't going to do anything for you except for maybe expose those problems. So that's why I don't like using it that way. Suit yourself. Some people get off on smoking out their neighborhood. It's usually younger kids. But it's all preference, I guess. This car, I'm not going to put any in the fuel tank in this one because I think the fuel injectors are fine. The fuel system's fine. But I do know that these engines build up sludge inside of them at high miles due to poor maintenance and what have you. I don't know for sure that this engine's got a bunch of sludge in it, but I'm going to run the seafoam through there for 4 different cycles just for preventative, or to try to cut down on some of it if there is some sludge inside of it. What I mean by 4 cycles is I've already got some in the engine. I ran the car for a very limited time because the engine was old. Ran it for a couple of days back and forth to pick up my fiance from work, and to deal with the kids and stuff, and to the grocery store, just for 2 days, and here it is in the shop. I'm changing the oil out. If you're doing this and you're going to put seafoam in it, buy the cheapest oil you can get. If your car, like this car here, requires full synthetic oil. If it requires full synthetic oil, put full synthetic oil in it. Eat the cost. It's better safe than sorry. If your car doesn't require synthetic oil, buy your cheapest, like 30 weight or whatever the hell you could find, the house brand oil filters, and use that. It's gonna turn your oil filthy in no time. Okay, absolutely filthy. You don't want to drive it for 3,000 miles before you change your oil. 500 miles, I would say, ballpark, maybe 1,000. I would be shooting for about 500 on your second time cleaning it. Your first time, change it out pretty quickly. You'll notice a pretty dramatic difference in oil quality the first time you use it. Again, I'm going to use it 4 times, which would be 2 bottles. Be half a bottle for the first time, half a bottle for the second time. Then I'm going to get me, a couple more things of oil, the 5-gallon jugs, and buy me another can of seafoam and do it 2 more times. And then I'm going to be done with that, and hopefully everything's good. The only caution that I want to give you guys regarding the product would be if you have bad seals, bad gaskets, and what I mean by that, you might not know that you do, okay? And that's where the problem is. On my Pathfinder, I didn't know that I had bad seals or gaskets. There was no oil leaks. But here's how I want to just explain this. I'm going to give you a metaphor. Most of us fell down as a child and skinned our knee or our elbow or something like that in the dirt and rocks. When you do that, you get all this dirt and grime and stuff impacted into your scrapes and your cuts. Okay, and because that grime is in there, it almost acts like a scab. As soon as you start washing that off, it starts bleeding. That's essentially what's going to happen to your engine. If you got a bunch of grime and sludge and carbon deposits covering up a bad seal or a bad gasket, as soon as you put something in there that removes that sludge and that crap from there, it's going to start bleeding. It's going to start leaking oil or whatever, wherever you're putting it at. Okay, so just be aware of that. That's a very big possibility. If you got an old car that hasn't been maintained very well, that's a very real possibility. I can tell you, I had it on that was an issue on my Pathfinder with the oil pan gasket and the rear main seal. I didn't have that problem anywhere else. This car, granted I've only driven it for 2 days and not a lot of miles, no oil leaks. So I'm kind of lucky there, but that doesn't mean one won't come up as I'm going through this cycling process where I'm using more of it to try to clean it. Okay, so just be prepared. Don't blame the product. The product's not ruining the seal. It's just cleaning the crap off of it, and now it starts bleeding. Okay, it's a good product. It's petroleum based. It's okay to be mixed in with your oil. You're not going to have problems with that. You know, I've used it before. Again, I haven't had any problems with that, and I don't know anybody that has any legitimate claims to having problems with it. So, and this product's been around for longer than I've been alive. Outside of that, that's all pretty much I wanted to tell you. There's not much to it. Like you said, you just pour it into the oil or pour it into your fuel tank. Change your oil and do what you need to do. That's it. Subscribe, comment, like, check out the links in the description. First one is Alvarez Metalworks. That's my Facebook page. Go like that page, please. All the other links will be Seafoam related, where you can buy it. You can get it at all your local auto parts stores. I don't know anybody who's not selling it. But you can also order it online. I'll put a link for that. And I'll put a link to their website so you can read up about it and find out how to use it. Make sure you're using it properly, okay? And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Bye.